How you doing, Jersey? This is Ledger Live's second annual search for New Jersey's best sledding hill. How you doing, Jersey? Welcome to Ledger Live. How you doing, Jersey? Welcome to Ledger Live. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to Ledger Live. How you doing, Jersey? Welcome to Ledger Live. How you doing, Jersey? Welcome to Ledger Live. This week's candidate for the worst idea to come down the pike, or up the pike, depending on whether you're north or south of Trenton. How you doing, Jersey? Welcome to Ledger Live, and welcome to the most unfriendly city in the world. How you doing, Jersey, and how you doing, Grand Prix auto fans around the world? How you doing, Jersey? Welcome to Ledger Live. I'm here on the campus of Rutgers, where a controversy is simmering over one of this 250-year-old university's most cherished institutions.
The grease trucks! The grease trucks, what up?
Oh yeah, the grease trucks. Well, it's a few days before Thanksgiving, and I came here to this turkey farm with my video camera, hoping to get that classic shot of a sea of gaggling turkeys. But it turns out I'm a little too late for that. How you doing, Jersey? I'm here to talk about what just could be the biggest whopper hatched by a New Jersey governor since, I don't know, Jim McGreevey married Dina Matos. They have their real field technology and their Doppler radar, but what we now have is the Ledger Live Igloo Storm Center. All right, we've got our first guest inside the Igloo Storm Center. What's your name?
My name is Eric.
You're a pretty brave guy. I mean, a guy in like ridiculous yellow pants comes up to you in downtown Newark and asks you to step into his igloo.
Why not?
No, it's not the rain or the weather or my bad back. What's harsh in my mellow out on the water is the nation's tax structure.
When that time comes that three armed assailants with 30-round magazines break through that door, I want to have as many bullets ready in my firearm as I possibly can.
I'm fascinated by gun owners who have that fear of someone come breaking in.
Well, no, it's not.
Because I don't have
Neither
it.
do I.
And I caught a kid breaking into my house once years ago, and I chased him down the street with a baseball bat. And you know what? I'm glad I did not have a gun.
Oh, you're saying basically people didn't help me because I didn't look like I needed some help. I looked like a phony idiot.
Absolutely.
Well, Princeton did it. Voters here in Princeton Township and voters here in Princeton Borough have decided to stop the madness, bury the hatchet, and become one. Now you might think that as a sign of appreciation or fairness or common decency that the places that receive this welfare sand would let the taxpayers who paid for it sit on it. No, 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 no.
Do you see any storm?
A few flakes starting to come down.
Nah.
Oh, you look like you just robbed the place, man.
Yeah, snowstorm 2014, let's go.
Might be panic buying bread and milk at the supermarkets, but here it's pretty much just a run on lottery tickets. Running out getting anything with a storm or what?
No, just some scratch-offs, no.
Well, I emailed that question several times to Christie's spokespeople. I'll now have their response delivered to you by one of the ducks swimming around behind me. All right, looks like we're gonna have to hypothesize here. You covered this story for a year, and everyone's covered it for a year, and you think you know all the places that were affected and how they were affected, and then all of a sudden you stumble on a place like this. The houses are empty, there's no contractors, there's no construction. Complete ghost town, this neighborhood. After the storm, we all had our spots. These places that we were hoping so hard had survived the storm. Maybe it was the bench your grandmother liked to sit on to watch the ocean, or the bar where you met your husband or your wife. We wanted to check up on them like relatives we hadn't heard from. I set out to look at a few of mine, hoping they might yield some clues as to what the shore itself might look like down the road.
You know, the real old people that have been down here, I mean, they're displaced now. I mean, they might never come back. They can't afford it. They can't afford to rebuild. You know, it's tough. Yeah, we'll get it back. It'll come back.
So that means you got to go back to work now to pay a mortgage now?
I don't think so. I don't know. We'll have to wait and
All
see.
right.
I think maybe Sue will go back to work and I'll fish.
Did you hear that, Sue? I spent the day at Super Bowl 48 Media Day, and I think I may be a little stupider than when I woke up this morning. Although I did learn some things, like research by the Philadelphia Eagles cheerleaders has found that Pittsburgh Steelers lineman Brett Kiesel's beard is actually soft and silky.
Wait, it's a lot softer than I thought.
I think it's going to be like a scratcher or something.
And then, just as I was packing up my gear and my hard and cynical heart, I learned, or maybe I had just forgotten and was reminded by the look on the face of this little kid in the front row, what it was like to believe in superheroes. And that's a pretty great thing to relearn. Time again to turn off the AC, roll down the windows, and explore the smells of New Jersey. With vultures circling and crows, and I can smell what smells like the most rancid, rotten, moldy cheese stuffed inside a sweaty old sneaker. 3. He is an amazingly skilled politician, but he's not some sort of charismatic miracle worker that he's sometimes made out to be. For example, some in the national media seem just mystified as to how he could get that pension and benefits reform that he said he was never going to pass through a democratically controlled legislature.
How did you get, and I don't know the answer. This is not a set-up leading question. How did you get Democrats to come on board for this bipartisan bill?
Well, first, because people in the media often confuse bluntness with inflexibility.
Now, what nobody there is mentioning is that Democratic Senate President Steve Sweeney had been calling for pension reform for years, way before Christie even came to town. It wasn't a miracle. It was hardball politics and compromise. And yep, Christie is really good at both. This is the real East Rutherford Super Bowl.
Definitely.
Lawn bowling.
Yep.
You cannot let an Irish guy beat you.
I know. Yep.
Oh!
Yes!
Use the word pedicure, like pedicure is like a girly word. You got to take care of your feet, you know? Bottom line.
Man, I love the Super Bowl, but every year, this Roman numerals thing tries to be crazy. How old are you in Roman numerals, do you know?
Wait a minute. 5 X's, a V, and 3 L's.
The question is, where did the apostrophe go in history? Somebody lost it.
Am I going to get in trouble? Is that going to be... I mean, I'm correcting an error.
Yes, I would imagine if you wanted to do that, we would have no objection to it.
I'm here overlooking the mouth of the 100-year-old rail tunnel. This is the tunnel that New Jersey Transit and Amtrak share. Besides the path tubes, it's the only rail tunnel we have. And it's not until you're standing here looking down at this tunnel that you realize how pathetic it really is. Kayaking to the Super Bowl. Can it be done? We're literally stuck in the muck. It was good to hear Christie say that there's a long-term plan in the works. And really, the blame for all this doesn't fall solely on him anyway. And if he can manage to harness that boldness and bluster that made him so popular and effective in the first 6 months after Sandy, in fighting off the developers and municipal officials and all the other interests, they're going to want to stupidly put everything right back where it was, the way it was, well, then having Christie in Trenton could prove to be a godsend when the next storm hits. You heard me say if there, right? And still, every day, the tears continue to fall.
She lost everything and she don't want to take nothing, and we force her and we cry every day.
Tears of sadness, tears of frustration, and yes, tears of gratitude.
People come in, a man come in from California because he heard it, now I cry.
Yes, see?
Since the storm, I've spent most of my days in places like this. Like many of us have found out, you wind up learning a few things about the world and about yourself. And here's the biggest lesson I've learned. I underestimated people. People are better than I thought. There is more good out there than I ever imagined. Is it me? Is it me, or does that look a little weird?
Oh no, I'm the last person to ask.
It stands out in there, right?
It definitely does. Definitely does.
You like it?
I like them all. Is that the safest answer I could give?
Yeah, I guess so. Both Corzine and the artist Lauren Dunlap didn't return my calls, so I was left to wonder what the deal was. Maybe the artist charged extra for the background and Governor Christie decided we just didn't have the money for it.
Maybe he's standing up against a giant piece of white bread as a symbol of his political persona.
Or maybe the artist had run out of ideas for a background. Well, Ledger Live was here to help. How about something to recall Corzine's plan to sell the New Jersey Turnpike? Or how about a more rustic setting, say the home of Corzine's former girlfriend and union leader Carla Katz, whose home he paid for? Hey, there's Carla.
They really did leave?
Sad.
That's all I wanted to do was hug the situation and meet Snooki. And Pauly D. And fist pump with Pauly D. But, you know...
That's all you wanted to do.
It's all I wanted to do. Like, you know, top goals in life.
Any other goals in life?
I mean...
Well, it happens every year in some town in America. Some atheistic curmudgeon with nothing better to do complains about Christmas decorations on public property, sparking a wave of irrational paranoia among people who think there's some sort of concerted war on Christmas going on, not just one atheistic curmudgeon with nothing better to do.
Assemblywoman Cleopatra Tucker introducing a bill that would require kids to pay a registration fee and put license plates on their bikes. You know what I think? Great idea. This is a great idea. You know what? It doesn't go far enough. These kids, it's not only bicycles that are causing problems, but child pedestrians. You know, they bump into you and they disappear, those little whippersnappers. They're out of there before you can even get a positive ID. In the wintertime, they got their mittens on, you can't even get a fingerprint. So, here's what we should do. I propose we take it one step farther. Put the license plates right on the kids. I started in my own house this morning. Here's the scene as I got my daughter ready for school. Now, the 2-year-old was not down with this, clearly. She was having a bad day. But the 4-year-old had no problem with it at all.
Take it easy, Jersey.
And God bless you.
Take it easy, Jersey.
Take it easy, Jersey.
Take it easy, Jersey. Thanks a lot. Thanks for doing this. What a pleasure. I'm doing it with my left hand. Okay. All right, thanks a lot. Happy holidays. Take it easy, Jersey.